Hello again everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Test Flight in the UH-1 Huey. I'm going to continue to learn and figure out navigation and get into an ILS approach on Polkey, the airfield that's at the halfway point of this mission. So let's go ahead and get back into the cockpit and pick up where we left off. And I'm just tooling around now, seeing the sights. I'm out here over the water feature that I was talking about earlier. So let me pull up a different map here. Okay, so right now I'm over this water feature with this terrain right out here to my left. So I know that if I come around here and keep going, I'm going to have a road that I can follow and follow around to the right around this rise in the terrain and come out over this town, which is Zugdidi, which should be somewhere near the NDB. Okay, so I'm going to come around this road. That's going to put this NDB, I'm basically right there off of my right. And then that opens up a whole lot of options, because I have another NDB down here, 942 at Poti. I have the inner and outer markers at Sanaki, this airfield. And I know I have some more nav aids out here to the in the area of this other airfield. So, you know, I could, if I wanted to, I could just say, well, I need to fly a course of, you know, whatever this would be, whatever that would end up being, 175 or whatever from this NDB. So I could just set this up so that, okay, my desired course is 175, and then just fly so that, in other words, fly that so that I'm going away from this NDB with this marker pointing at 175 on the dial. And that would ensure that I'm going directly at Poti. Once I pick up and can tune in on Poti at 942, then I just go directly at it. Or if I just wanted to go from this NDB and get set up on this marker, I would just need to know the course from this NDB, fly outbound from the NDB on that course, and then no matter what, I'm going to eventually end up right there over that marker and set up for an approach on Sanaki. So let me take it out of autopilot again and start looking for that road I was talking about. Put her into a little bit of a climb to get up above this terrain. I've got that really harsh terrain out there to the right, or I'm sorry, to the left. So I know that I'm going to have this little pass right here, and I just follow the pass around this higher terrain to the right, and I come down on that larger town. You know what would really be useful? I mean, we have a 1 to 250,000 scale map that I'm using right now. Is higher fidelity, less, what would you call that? Once upon a time, I actually learned to navigate using just map, compass. That was back before GPS really became the thing to do. But yeah, there are better maps that you can get, and especially in the Huey with all this terrain around here. You know, I don't really have, you know, details like this, so that I can really get down to, okay, well, there's that town right here. I have the large towns and I have the large terrain features, but I don't really have, you know, a lot of the other stuff that at low level would be very, very helpful. And I'm lucky in this situation that I have so much terrain out here that is distinguishable from everything else. Let me hand it over to the co-pilot. Like, for example, okay, I'm coming through this pass. Now I have this major water feature out here, and I know that that's this river that I'm looking at right now. I also have rising terrain out there in the distance, and I know that that's probably going to be this terrain feature right here. Yeah, I have some more kind of like lesser, okay, I have really significant terrain out there, a little terrain feature here, and a larger distinguishable terrain feature out here. So I know that I'm probably looking at this hill, which I could just use that and go directly to the airfield that I'm going to, because it's just on the other side of that hill. But I have that on this map, but if I didn't have these terrain features, then it might be a little bit more difficult. You know, for example, well, I guess it does have this bridge. So I know that right now I'm actually exactly right here on the map. So let me just go ahead and turn to the right, and I'll follow this river on down. And just continuing on down, and I'm noticing that although I like this map a lot for the terrain, getting a feel for the terrain and terrain features, I'm really finding that it's the T1 map that it gives me a better feel for some of these features, like bridge locations, and like right now, okay, I'm on this little island in the middle of the river, so I know that I'm right here just based on, okay, I have the smaller outlet or whatever you call it, like I should know what this is called, but the smaller river that feeds back into the larger river, not a tributary because they are off the same river. Anyway, I've got this right here that I can distinguish, but I did not have that on the other maps, so I think overall I am kind of liking this map a little bit better now. I've got my NDB out there, which will be back, and assuming my assumption is correct, it'll be back out there and to the right. And that, yeah, that does match up exactly with what I'm seeing. So right now I want to go ahead and tune on Pody 942 and see what that gives me. So I need to switch it over to this band, the 850 to 750 band, and tune for 942. That would be it. It's still a long ways out. So the signal strength is down a little bit, but that is 942, that is Pody, and that is showing me going directly at it. I don't know if I 100% trust that. I don't think I'm that good at navigating. So just to test, let me turn this map off and take over the aircraft from the co-pilot. Let me just kind of turn to the right. Yeah, and see the NDV pointer does not, that should be fixed on that location. Right now I'm either not tuned to the right location or I'm just out of range. So let me hand it back over to the co-pilot and tweak this a little bit more. So I want a 942, that's 950. I just don't think I'm close enough to get the signal strength to be able to give me a good solid direction on it. I've got something right there. That's not. Oh, that's not it. That's something completely different because I want 942. That's going to be it. I just need to get a little bit closer. Okay, so continuing on. Let me see where I am. I'll do some more visual navigation from here. Okay, so coming down, I actually want to turn left and intersect this road right here. No, I'm over the Nguri River. Okay, so turn left, intersect the road right down here. So I just want to fly for a course of, or for a heading of, what would that be? 90, 180, 70, 60, 50, 150. Okay, so let me come down here. I'll turn to 150. So I need a left-hand turn. I'll take over from the co-pilot. Get her set up in the turn. Okay, just looking at the more terrain out there. Let me level up here and see if I can figure out what road this is. Okay, that road goes down the river. Okay, so I'm on this road. And yeah, I'm looking for more of a major, I don't know, it's not really a major road, that's more of power lines that I'm looking at there. Let me go to another map. Yeah, I was here. That's the road. So yeah, I need to still come around to the left. And it'll be just to the... Yeah, if I come around and just go to the right of this terrain feature, then I'm good. Was I looking? I might have been looking at the wrong features in terrain because, yeah, it's not really ringing a bell. I think maybe, yeah, this one is... Well, maybe I just had it just from a different angle. Yeah, that's the terrain feature that the airfield is behind. This is this terrain feature. So I'm going to intersect the road just to the right out here. So I should be able to look out there and see the road that I wanted. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so let me keep coming around and I'll just go around just to the right of this little hill. Okay, so now that I'm getting around and getting fairly close to this next airfield, I'm going to go ahead and look up the tower frequency and get in communications. So I want Sanaki on this one. Okay, Sanaki, Kolki. Okay, let me get a tower frequency for you. 132 megahertz. And I've got the ILS 108.09. 108.9. Already called up. We're runway 09. So let me go 132 on my VHF FM. And we go to position number 3. I'm sorry, is that 1 or is that 3? Yeah, position 3. Let me call inbound at Kolki.
Springfield 1-1, inbound.
I was trying to tweak the volume there. That's kind of down in the mud, but that's intercom volume. Yeah, okay, no big deal. I can still make that out easily. Okay, called out heading 122 for 14 and get me an altimeter setting. I'm just going to continue inbound and let me see. There's a TACAN here, but I cannot tune TACANs. And I do not have inner and outer marker frequencies here, which is no big deal. I have everything that I need. And I've just been holding out here for a few minutes, getting my bearings and playing around with some more navigation equipment. But I'm right here, just down to the south of this little terrain feature. I just want to follow this road on down through the town of Kobe, and that's going to set me up for a good approach on Kolki. Okay, so let me go ahead and get the ILS tuned up, and now I do have indications down here on this little receiver. What I'm going to assume this is meant to do. Okay, it's let me get some more information on the airfield. Yeah, Sanaki, Kolki. Okay, do I have a for 088? Okay, yeah, 088 for a course. So let me set this to 088. And what should happen is that will give me, like right now it's telling me that, well, it's not really telling me anything right now because I'm not in a really good position, but at the very least I'm getting indications that I know that I'm picking things up. So now when I come over to that course of 088, the heading alignment needle should be straight up and down, and I should just get normal ILS guidance from there. Okay, so I think I'm ready to come in and land this thing, which reminds me, okay, fuel quantity, I'm down to about 6,500 pounds. So yeah, I think I will have to actually land here and get some fuel before I take it back. Okay, so coming up, and I'm going to take over. No, I already had control of the aircraft. Okay, I was just, it just trims out so nicely that I didn't even realize the autopilot wasn't on there for about 5 minutes. Okay, so let me trim out for this, and I should be looking straight down this road. Okay, that's that one town, what was it called again? Okay, that's Kobe, I think. Right out there. Either way, this is the right road. And I've got the airfield out there in the distance. So I just want to come over right about there to set up for the ILS approach, and then turn left over the airfield. Okay, so let me cut into this airspeed just a touch. And I've been fighting this the entire time, but for some reason, my head keeps coming over here to the instrument panel, and I keep picturing this for some reason, or somewhere right in here as straight ahead. I've got to keep reminding myself that this is straight ahead, that I'm just offset to the right in the aircraft, that I'm not looking down the center line, or I don't need to look down what I think is the center line. I need to look straight down the center of my pedals when it comes to maintaining visual cues for which direction I'm going, because I've been in like a constant crab to the left, it seems like this entire time. Okay, so I'm going to continue inbound, and I'll catch up with you once we get a little bit closer to the field. Yeah, I just went over a small river, which would put me just to the south of Kobe, that town I was using as a little, almost like a waypoint marker. Let me cut into my descent rate. I'm coming down at a pretty good clip. Let me set back up at about 500 feet as I continue inbound on the approach. I've got some power lines coming up in front of me, which is, I think that's, yeah, that's making sense for what I'm seeing on the map. And again, the airfield should just be out here to my front and left. Okay, still looking okay. And that's it for this edition of Test Flight in UH-1 Huey. So next episode, I'm going to pick up where I left off and continue to pick up the ILS steering for Kolke. I'll land and see about navigating back home. I hope you are enjoying this series. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.